Welcome on into the Newhouse Studios for the Cuse.com pregame show. Along with Cameron Izzer, I'm John Eads. Thanks so much for joining us. Syracuse has some big games coming up. First, a Thursday night matchup with number 19 Florida State before a home date with Miami. The Orange will most likely need both of those wins if SU wants to compete and make the NCAA tournament. Levante, an incredible story across your collegiate career, starting at Seattle, one of the best players at that college, then taking the gamble, going across the country from Washington all the way to New York. Now you're spearheading one of the best teams in Syracuse soccer history. How does it feel to get the job done today and to be having the season you guys are having this year?
It's amazing, to be honest.
Now, when you think of the Badgers, think of the tough, snot-nosed, trench affair barn burners. Well, Purdue has the Jimmies and Joes and the X's and O's to play that kind of game. Case in point, I'll take the block P over the block W, and not just because that letter is used more in the Wordle. It's got to be Minnesota. You know what the Golden Gophers did? They traveled into East Lansing, went like that on Michigan State season. By the way, he's nicknamed Red. We mentioned this before.
Yes,
we couldn't
fun
get
fact.
the picture.
Yep.
We do have the picture of Adrian Autry with his red hair. There it is. So he was at a 5-star camp in high school. He grew up in New York City in the Bronx, and he had that red hair. Lawrence Moten said that that's kind of how he got his nickname, and that carried on from the city to Syracuse. Whew. Yeah, I hate running. I haven't run like that in a long time. And good thing I wasn't playing in this game tonight because it was a track meet. Let's go from offense to defense, but stay in Death Valley. How about Jahad Carter? Marlowe Wax, Deuce Chestnut forced a fumble. Carter's got it, and he's off to the races. Giddy up, baby. On the women's side, Syracuse was busy last week despite the holidays. The Orange entered Turkey Week with a perfect 4-0 record and plenty of blowouts on their resume, but it all wasn't biscuits and gravy for the Cuse last week. 2 goals against Clemson in the first half of the ACC Championship, so SU regarded kind of as a first-half team. We'll see what adjustments, if they make those adjustments, in the second half. Coach McIntyre might be listening to you. The Orange off to their best start in program history. Now we've reviewed what happened last week, and that's set up this week. We've done the recap. Now for your Netflix show at home, this is the new episode, and tonight it featured Syracuse against number 6 Stony Brook. Let's play some basketball here, and Dariana Lewis was certainly doing that. Watch this. Pow! Get that baby out of here. She puts the Spalding on the basketball. Easy pick today for our Orange Press Pass player of the game. I'm going to read you his resume from today. 331 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 70% completion percentage on senior day. A great way to encapsulate what's been a very successful career for Hartman. He's second in the ACC, its entire history, for touchdowns responsible for, past Lamar Jackson. When you do that, you're a pretty good football player. Also, talked about it before, his 20th career 300-yard passing game today. Nobody in ACC history has ever accomplished that. Who's on their way down? North Carolina. They came into this tournament the number 1 team in the nation. They come out of it the number 18 team in the nation. But don't forget about the veterans as well, because Syracuse has 2 guys, Joe Girard, Jesse Edwards. We talked about Jesse a little bit. Joe Girard transitioning from the point guard role to the shooting guard role. I'll sum everything I've just set up in one sentence. Minnesota can run the darn football. Penn State can't stop a team that can run the darn football. Ian, I know the Syracuse football team, the soccer programs, heck, even the field hockey team stealing the headlines right now. But don't you dare forget about SU women's hockey. That's Judah Mintz, only a true freshman for this Syracuse basketball team, but leading the team in scoring, and that's despite not even playing pretty much an entire game against Bryant. All right, back to lacrosse, because Sam Alexo launched a torpedo. Watch this. Into the goal. Are you kidding me? I tried the same thing at home back in my day. I smashed the window by our front garage. My mom was not happy. Well, this guy will be a draft prospect. I'll give you a hint. It's prime time, baby. Deion Sanders' son, Shadur Sanders, as you probably could guess, plays for his dad down at Jackson State on Saturday. But I tell you what, Jahad Carter certainly had some fun under the sun in South Carolina. You did as well. You look good. Not too
I got a little tip.
Big from Burnt Whistle. Now let's go back to basketball. And Jesse Edwards, watch this. He's open. NC State dares him to shoot it. Bang! First career attempt for Jesse Edwards. First career make. Syracuse upsets NC State 75-72. What a game, what a win for Jesse Edwards. I mean, you know where this is going. We're Michigan guys. We're going to that Michigan-Ohio State game for the play of the week. OSU cuts it to 1 score. The Don is breaking free and he's loose. Gets by Lathan Ransom. Send a postcard, baby. 75 yards to the house. That put the game on ice. Hail to the victors. The first win in Columbus since 2000, and Donovan Edwards had everything to do with that. Levante, you've had some big goals for this team over the past couple weeks. The game winner against UNC in the ACC tournament, then this score today. Why is it that you're so clutch in the big moments, and what prepares you for these big plays?
I just have to give credit to my teammates. You know, they make it really easy for me.
10 different players logged a dozen minutes for Syracuse in the second exhibition game against Southern New Hampshire. What do you expect the impact of the SU bench to be this season?
Well, it could be great. You have a lot of freshmen.
All right, a nice win for Syracuse there against the team in Hofstra they hadn't played since 2003. Let's one-up that, though. How about the first ever matchup between the Orange and the St. Bonaventure Bonnies? And on top of that, last night was an opportunity for Gary Gate and company to surpass their win total from last season's 4-10 disappointment. Tuesday night lacrosse in the Dome, St. Bonaventure sporting just a 1-6 record in just its 5th season as a varsity program. Alex Simmons gave the Bonnies a not-so-friendly welcome to ACC lacrosse. He spins and fires a rocket top shelf. 1-0 Cuse, not even a minute in. St. Bonaventure answered right back with Patrick Carpenter. Scoop, there it is. 4-2 Syracuse at the end of one, and the Orange scored 4 more in the second. Luke Roa sent the Orange to the locker room up 5. The second half was essentially target practice for Syracuse. Max Rosa kicks off an 11-0 run with his first Gino of the year. Then DJ Johnny Cohen got involved with a feature on the Joey Spolina mixtape. One of 3 helpers for the Johns Hopkins transfer, and here's another one. Cohen finds Pete Fiorini, and the Baldwinsville product ripples the nylon. Orange up 21-5. Tage Hogue ended things on a good note, at least for the Bonnies. Hey, they don't leave New York with the win, but at least they got a highlight reel goal to hang their hat on. 22-6 the final score. Well, let's put the thoughts aside for just a second and roll the tape and see how it all went down today between Syracuse and Wake Forest in North Carolina. SU's first trip to Winston-Salem since 2018, and Sam Hartman looked for a big senior day performance. The Orange received the opening kickoff and put together a nice drive in the first quarter. Sean Tucker in the Wildcat calls his own number, bounces it outside, trying to win the race to the corner, and he does. He dives in. Syracuse's first touchdown in 26 possessions. That's the longest drought for the Cuse since 2014. The Orange also 6-1 this year when scoring first, so maybe a good omen. Skip ahead to the second quarter a couple minutes in. Sam Hartman takes the snap, one-on-one coverage near side, locates his receiver, A.T. Perry in the corner of the end zone. Isaiah Johnson, the defensive back, stripped it out, but the play was reviewed. The call would stand. Not the last we would hear from Perry in this contest. A couple minutes later, Syracuse had an answer. Handoff, Sean Tucker, no room up the middle, bounces it outside, another race to the pylon, and he wins again. Second rushing touchdown for Tucker, put the Cuse up 14-10. His first multi-rushing touchdown game since actually Wake Forest 1 year ago. A few minutes later, midway in the second quarter, a pedestrian carry for Sean Tucker on a counter. Takes a block from Schrader. Just 10 yards, a regular carry for Tucker, but this run put him over the 3,000-yard mark. He's just the 4th Syracuse back to accomplish that. One play later, trickeration. LaQuint Allen, the running back, downfield finds Devon Cooper, who holds on through the contact. The first passing touchdown by a non-Syracuse quarterback since 2017. 21-10 Syracuse. 1 minute later, Sam Hartman, 5 minutes left, second quarter, downfield shot. It's Perry again on a double move. Burns Juice Chestnut, the second of 3 touchdowns he would have in this game. That tied a career high he set last year. So 24-21 the score at the half, and Wake Forest building on it. Keyshawn Williams stilts for the touchdown, head-tapping Jason Simmons. 21 unanswered points for Wake Forest. It's 31-21 Demon Deacons. Now let's move ahead to the fourth quarter. Syracuse looking for some answers. None to be had, though. Intercepted. Brandon Harris going back the other way. Has some blocks, and nobody would catch him. His first career pick and first career touchdown. 45-21. Wake Forest all over Syracuse. Now 5 minutes left in the game. Syracuse keeping it interesting. Read option keep for Schrader around the corner. Finds the end zone for a walk-in score. His 7th rushing touchdown of the season, but too little too late. Sam Hartman and company successful on senior day. The Demon Deacons use a 35-point run to outdo the Cuse 45-35. The team of destiny continues. Hashtag dare to dream. Syracuse dreaming of a national title. It's still on the line. It's still a possibility. They got 14-seed Cornell next. That's all for Phil Galati and myself, John Eads. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night. Happy holidays, everybody.